1, 2. 1, 2. All right, let's see. Let's go back here. Let's drop that back down. Let's probably. Okay. You ready? Right. Let's clap it up. Clap it up. All right. Shalom Israel. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Barakatah to all the brothers. Yahweh Shemal Thumba Shem Yahweh Shah to the sisters. Tonight's class is brotherhood class. Like we always say, brotherhood is synonymous with sisterhood. Tonight's class is entitled Our Leadership Has Failed Us. You understand? We have been led into a burning building. We have been led into a burning house. You understand? We are destroyed as a people for unrighteous leadership. You understand? Our leaders seem to only want to look out for themselves. You understand? And in looking out for themselves, they have sold us unto the beast of the field. You understand? And we get eaten by every other nation. Every other nation prospers off of Israel. You understand? And our leaders accept a few pieces of silver to sell us out. Right. You understand? And thanks to Martin Luther King, we are destroyed as a nation. You understand? The best thing Martin Luther King did was what? What's the best thing Martin Luther King did?
It's like, okay, sir.
Go ahead.
Nothing.
Well, we can't say nothing.
Oh, Salaki.
He had
the Montgomery bus boycott.
Alabama bus boycott, which started when?
I know it was the 60s. I don't know
the who?
60s.
The 60s.
Wasn't 60s?
No, it wasn't 60s. That was 60s. Don't look on your phone either. He pulled his phone. He tried to pull his phone thing on. Started in the 50s. The Alabama bus boycott started exactly in 1954. It lasted all the way till 1955. It lasted, if I'm not mistaken, 300 and I want to say 74 days. It was over a year, right? And over a year, what happened in that year? Go ahead.
That crippled the economy.
It crippled the economy of who?
Of our oppressor.
Where at?
In Alabama.
Not just Alabama.
Was it just the southern states?
No, not just the southern states. Because remember, right? When they allowed so-called blacks, Hispanics to ride on those buses, it was all across the United States. You understand? Uh-huh. It was all across the United States that those buses got integrated. That was the best thing Martin Luther King could have done, was told our people not to ride those buses. Why is that? Because it showed the power that we truly had. You understand? Okay. And think about it, right? Just with the Alabama bus boycott, just with that alone, it crippled an economy that made our oppressor bend and break. Right. You understand? Not totally break, but broke. So much so that he said, yes, you can sit anywhere you want on any bus at any time, anywhere. You understand what I'm saying? And what Martin Luther King could have done was he could have took that money that all those brothers and sisters saved by not riding the oppressor's buses and started their own bus system. Not only that, right? We had our own bus system. But Martin Luther King wanted to do what?
Integrate.
He wanted to integrate. And what's our motto? Our motto is, when you integrate into anything, you become the very thing you integrate into.
Right.
You understand? There has never been a time. Think about it, right? When we integrated, it was black people integrating into white restaurants.
Right.
Black people integrating into white schools. Black people integrating into white theaters. You understand? White spaces. It wasn't our oppressor integrating into our spaces.
Right.
And that's the thing that a lot of us don't understand. Integration is not everybody mixing into everybody's thing. It's one person mixing into another person's thing. And that's the reason why we use that phrase whenever you integrate into anything, you become that thing you integrate into. It wasn't the masses integrating into the minors, it was the minors integrating into the masses. You understand what I'm saying? And we were destroyed because of that, because we gave up all of our restaurants, we gave up all of our stores, we gave up all of our schools, we gave up all of our bus systems, we gave up all of our movie theaters until the point we had nothing. You understand? We had nothing. We gave up everything we had to integrate into the very people that hated us. And look at us today. This is what fallout of integration. You know what I'm saying?
Come.
This is the result of integration. This is the fallout of integration. You understand? These are the results. You understand? Crack in our neighborhoods. You understand? Because we don't control anything in our neighborhoods. And if you don't control anything in your neighborhood, we are liable for anything to happen to us. You understand?
Check voice meter.
1 2 1 2.
Oh, echo voice meter. All right, hit again, sir.
1 2 1 2.
No, yours ain't on.
1 1 1.
Is the blue light on? Microphone. Wait a minute.
1 1.
Which microphone is it? It's card, right? 5 card.
1 1 1. There we go. Okay. I want to grab a scripture, Isaiah chapter 56. Verse 9. We're going to start at verse 9.
Come on, sir. It's the book of Isaiah, chapter 56 and verse 9. All ye beasts of the field, come to devour. Yea, all ye beasts in the forest. Verse 10. These
are the other nations. These are the beasts of the field. They come to devour. We are the ones being devoured. It says, all ye beasts of the field. Look at that, right? We got all the Asians owning the corner stores in our neighborhoods. The Arabs owning all the liquor stores. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
The Ethiopians owning the gas stations. You understand? East Indians, like I always say, owning all the Dunkin' Donuts.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? All ye beasts of the field come to devour. All the beasts of the field come to devour us. What does that mean? Come to devour.
Because, sir, I mean, they come to feed off us, get rich.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They come to get rich. If I'm not mistaken, we spoke about that, a week ago, about where the Asians live at in North Potomac.
Right.
Listen, they come in and sell them 4 wings and fried rice and build a heaven for themselves in North Potomac.
Right.
And look how we live in slums and in ghettos, in rat and roach infested neighborhoods. You understand? All because of integration, all because Martin Luther King had a dream.
Right.
You understand? His dream turned into a nightmare for us. You understand? Because we had belief in him. He was a leader.
Right.
That we followed and we were destroyed by. Martin Luther King accepted trinkets to sell out his people. You understand?
Come.
And another thing, you understand? It wasn't just Martin Luther King. Who else was it?
I know it was 6 of them, sir.
Go ahead, name one. Name one for me.
Is it Abernathy? Is that a name?
No, it wasn't Abernathy. Abernathy wasn't part of the Big Six. Abernathy was, I'm gonna say, he was a leader. We can't say that he was a leader, right? But it was a Big Six. It was somebody called the Big Six. These were supposed to be the affluential leaders of black people in America at that time. You had James Farmer. You got that?
James Farmer.
James Farmer.
Okay.
You had John Lewis.
James Farmer. Is it Farmer?
Farmer.
Gotcha. James Farmer.
Yep.
John Lewis.
John Lewis. You had A. Philip Randolph. Roy Wilkins. Roy Wilkins. And Whitney Young. Along with Martin Luther King. Whitney Young. And they were known as the Big Six.
Gotcha, sir.
Got it? They were known as the Big Six. But a lot of brothers and sisters don't know that there were 4 oppressors over top of them. They had 4 oppressors over top of them. And I'm getting ready to read them off. These 4 oppressors that were over top of the Big Six that controlled them and controlled everything that they did. So much so that we can see the results of the civil rights movement today. What did we get from the civil rights movement?
As a people, absolutely nothing.
Absolutely nothing. Civil rights does not benefit us to this day. It benefits every nation of people that comes over here, except for the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives.
Right.
You understand? I'm going to give you the name of those 4 oppressors right now.
Ready, sir.
You ready?
Come.
You got Walter Reuther. That's Reuther, president of the United Automobile Workers at that time. Right?
President of the Automobile Workers?
He was the president of the United Automobile Workers. It was a union. Right? You had Eugene Carson Blake, former president of the National Council of Churches. And this is why we destroyed.
What was the first one? Walter Reuther?
Walter Reuther.
Gotcha.
Reuther. And he was the president of the United Automobile Workers, which was a union. And listen, sidebar, just a sidebar. A lot of our brothers and sisters just celebrated that Labor Day.
Right.
And a lot of brothers and sisters don't know Labor Day was created to destroy us as a people.
Right.
Just a sidebar. In 1871, the first labor union was established. The first state labor union was an all-white labor union. You understand? And the all-white labor union was created to do what? It was created so that, because right after the Reconstruction, I want to do this right in order, right after the Reconstruction or right after the so-called emancipation, when the so-called slaves were so-called freed, everything that had to be built, because remember, it was a civil war. A lot of things, a lot of property, a lot of land was destroyed. So it had to be a rebuilding time, right?
Right.
In rebuilding, who were the artisans? Who were the skilled workers? The skilled workers were the slaves.
Right.
So at that time, everybody knew the skilled workers were slaves, and everybody knew they could get cheap labor, having the slaves do all the work and all the rebuilding. At that time, those oppressors needed jobs. They did not have jobs because everything was taken from them in the South.
Right.
And everybody suffered. So what the oppressor did was the oppressor started an all-white labor union in 1871, 6 years after the emancipation, because they understood and realized that all of the skilled workers were the ex-slaves.
Right.
So they started an all-white labor union to cripple even more of people who were not getting anything from America anyway.
Right.
You understand? To put us in a deeper hole. You understand? So anybody who celebrated that Labor Day, this is what you're celebrating. You're celebrating the so-called destruction of your own people. You understand?
Okay.
That was a sidebar. So now the third person was.
It's a lot, sir. Good.
Go ahead.
Eugene Carson Blake. He was the founder or president of what?
The former president of the National Council of Churches.
Of national churches?
Yep. National Council of Churches.
Gotcha.
Former president of the National Council of Churches. Then you had Matthew Ahman, executive director. You got that? Matthew Ahman, Ahmann. He was executive director of the National Catholic Conference for Interracial Justice. Right? You got that?
Okay.
And then on top of that, this is the topper right here. This is Joachim Prince, president of the American Jewish Congress. This was Joachim, Joachim. Prince, Prinz.
Prince.
Right. And he was the president of the American Jewish Congress. He was an actual rabbi. And every time we know that those so-called small hats have always been out to destroy Israel. From the time of what? From the time of
Egypt.
Yeah, but King Saul.
Oh, come.
You understand? From the time way back in King Saul, even in Egypt and leaving out in Egypt. You understand? They tried to destroy our elderly and our children. Remember that?
Right. In the Congo.
But every time we have some kind of foot on anything, our oppressor is always the head of it. You understand? Whether it be that Black Panther Party or anything like that. You understand? They always the head of something. This is one of the reasons why none of these movements ever work.
Right.
You cannot go against the oppressor and then put the oppressor over you to lead you. You understand?
Okay.
Now let's get back to that scripture.
We in verse 10, sir.
Now, another sidebar. 2 months before that march on Washington, the Big Six broadened their organization coalition by bringing on board 4 white men who supported their efforts. Those were those 4 white people. So 4 months before, or 2 months before, but they knew long before who was going to be heading up that civil rights movement. You understand? And this is why we destroyed as a people, because we don't believe we have strong enough leadership to lead our own people without the help of the oppressor.
Right.
This is why we destroyed as a people. But let's get back to that scripture.
You want to take it from 9?
Let's start at 10.
Come. It's Isaiah chapter 56 and verse 10. His watchmen are blind.
And this is what they're talking about. Our watchmen are blind. You understand? We don't see anything coming. Our watchmen don't see anything coming. Our watchmen have on blinders.
Right.
You understand? Only thing they can see is what is before them. You understand? Only thing that they can see is what benefits them. Our watchmen are blind. Go ahead.
They are all ignorant.
Say that again.
They are all ignorant.
We look at our watchmen, or we look at our leaders like they know everything, like they have our best interests at heart, but they are ignorant. You understand?
Okay.
You ever heard somebody say somebody's so smart they stupid?
Smart numbers.
These are our leaders. You understand? Say that again.
Salaki. So we say Smart dumb niggas.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And this is our leaders. Our leaders are so smart, they dumb. You understand? And we tend to believe that PhDs and MDs and Esquires and all of these letters before your name makes you smart. You understand?
Right.
But true wisdom and knowledge comes right here from these laws, statutes, and commandments.
That's right.
And we can truly see that none of our leaders follow the law, statutes, and commandments.
Right.
They are all ignorant. That's what the scriptures say. We didn't make this up. This is what the Bible tells us.
Right.
Go ahead.
They are all dumb dogs.
Say that again.
They are all dumb dogs.
Read on.
They cannot bark.
Look at him. What does that mean? They cannot bark.
They cannot warn the people, sir.
They will not warn us. That's what that means exactly. They will not warn us. They won't bark. They won't call out and let us know that danger is ahead or danger is on the horizon. They won't tell us that. Why? Because they are ignorant. They are all dumb dogs.
Right.
You understand? Go ahead.
Sleeping.
Sleeping?
Lying down.
What does that sleeping mean?
Slide. They just not paying attention. They're not on guard.
Exactly. They are unaware of the dangers that are around us. So much so because they are so integrated into the oppressor, they don't recognize the dangers that are around us.
Right.
And the ones that do recognize the dangers, they are so caught up in the spirit of the oppressor. You understand? They are so caught up in the spirit of the oppressor that they are not concerned about their brothers and sisters.
Right.
We have a lot of those.
That's right.
You understand? What is the spirit of the oppressor? Give me an example of the spirit of the oppressor.
So like if I could, one of the things that stand out, especially with scripture, when you say they sleeping, you know what I mean, can't bark or cannot bark and sleeping is they afraid to say anything or to warn their people because they're gonna lose the benefits, the trinkets.
Give me the spirit of you.
Oh, the spirit?
What's the spirit of the oppressor?
All love, get along. Like just get along. That's the past. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's true, right? But the spirit of the oppressor, that spirit of the think about it, right? What makes us feel like, what gives us that thing that makes us feel like we equal to the oppressor? The spirit of the oppressor.
What gives the spirit that we feel like we equal?
That we are, just like you said, we are all equal. That's that spirit of America. We are all equal. We are all in one melting pot. The spirit of America, that pledge of allegiance. They teach us these things back when we babies.
Right.
So much so that I always tell people, I remember in the kindergarten learning the Pledge of Allegiance and singing that Star Spangled Banner. So much so when I got to junior high school, I sang it with vigor and zeal.
Right.
You understand? So much so that America, I was part of America. Right. America was me. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, the things that they use to get us inspired. I'm going to tell you something that inspired Black people the most. The spirit of America that inspired Black people the most is when they had their first dream team. Dream team, yeah. That's the spirit of America. These are the things that they capture us in, and that captures our spirit and turns our spirit into their spirit. These things like football, basketball, things like that makes us come together and say, America's the greatest. America's the greatest, knowing that we're being murdered on these streets.
Right. How
can we possibly think that, knowing that America put the drugs into our neighborhoods?
Right.
America illegally has been incarcerating our brothers since we've been on the shores of America.
Right.
You understand? This is the spirit of America. Those things that make us forget about all the ills that are happening to us and love America so much so. Just like who says that? Is that General Muhammad that says we like a battered wife? We continue to come back to America. We continue to believe that America is going to change. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
We think that something different is going to change. Well, He punched me in my eye this time, but he ain't gonna do it again. He promised me. America promises reparations for how many years America has been promising reparations.
Shit.
And
Wow.
we as black people still standing around. We still believing in America. This is the spirit of America. You understand?
Okay.
This is the very spirit of America. You understand? These are the things that we have to get past. You understand? And this is the sleeping. This is us sleeping. You understand?
Right.
We get hypnotized. We become unaware of all the ill things that America has done to us. You understand?
Okay.
Where we at?
That was it. Oh, it's like we got some more.
Sleeping,
Lying
lying down,
loving to slumber.
loving to slumber. Listen, what does it mean to loving to slumber?
They love to relax, kick back.
Kick back. Listen, when nothing is, listen, we love to sleep and we love to slumber. We love to relax. We love to kick back when it's not happening to our family.
Right.
You understand? When it has nothing to do with us. Did you see that sister that was in, where was that at? Where the sister was, that was in Florida. Was that in Florida where the sister was speaking up for, what's the Florida, what's the, is that the mayor? DeSantis? DeSantis. Is he the mayor of Florida or is he the governor? The governor. And the people were booing him. The black people was booing him. And the lady got up there and said, don't boo him. He bringing money to us.
Yeah, right.
We about to get, see, listen, what's the scripture?
First Maccabees?
No. Ecclesiastes 7:7. Let me make sure that's it. That's it right there. That's it right there. She blasting the people for booing somebody who is out destroying black people. Somebody who's out, who doesn't want critical race theory taught in Florida. You understand? What is critical race theory?
It's like critical race theory is, well, it should be taught to black people, but it's really the blacks. You know, the black people, they want it, not the black people, but the black folks, they want it taught to so-called white people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And what it is showing the unfair circumstances and the cruelty that, and the oppression that so-called blacks went through based off of the affliction from whites.
Showing real black history.
Right.
Right? That's real black history. Right? And read that scripture right there.
You said Ecclesiastes.
Now, she blasting Ecclesiastes. Check this out. She blasting black people for booing somebody who is totally against black people. Right? Why is she berating black people? She's berating black people because she's getting a gift. Right. She's getting a trinket. You understand? And because it's not affecting her, because she doesn't live in the ghettos. Right. She doesn't live in the slums. She doesn't live in the barrios. She doesn't live on the reservations. She's not being destroyed by the laws and everything that were created to destroy us. Right. You understand? Read that scripture.
Ecclesiastes chapter 7, verse 7. Surely oppression maketh a wise man mad.
And on that day, those people were wise. You understand? Because they can see what's happening to brothers and sisters in Florida. You understand? They know the oppression, and oppression made them mad. Right. These people were wise on that day. Read on.
And a gift destroyeth the heart.
But her heart was destroyed by trinkets. You understand?
Okay.
She turned a blind eye for a gift. A gift destroyeth the heart. This sister was destroyed that day. She was destroyed long before then. You understand?
Okay.
But this sister showed how destroyed she was on that day. It says, surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, but a gift destroyeth the heart. We are destroyed as a people because we keep looking for trinkets and gifts from America. But America keeps giving us their butt to kiss.
Right.
You understand? And the only time anything comes up for black people is when it's election time.
Right.
A gift destroyeth the heart.
Right.
What's that gift? That gift is election, is voting. We think that voting is going to get us somewhere. We've been voting since the Reconstruction. We've been voting, and voting has not gotten us anywhere.
Right.
Voting has not gotten any other nation anywhere either. But the other nations do not have to vote because they live by the laws of America. They are covered by the laws of America.
Right.
They are living the American reality. We the only people living the American dream. We are truly living in a dream. And when we wake up, we see that nightmare. We destroyed as a people. You know? Now let's drop down to verse 13.
Come. Book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7 and verse 13. Consider the work of the Most High.
It says, consider the work of, we can use God. Consider the work of God, right? It says, consider the work of God. Look at the earth. Look at the earth, the way the earth was put together. You understand? Certain birds fly with certain birds. You understand? Birds don't mix.
Right.
You understand? Fish don't mix. You understand? Certain fish stay with certain fish. Sharks stay with sharks. You understand? Dolphins stay with dolphins. You understand? Elephants stay with elephants. They don't mix with rhinoceroses.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Every animal stays. Listen, God created this thing like this.
Right.
You understand? Read on.
For who can make that straight which he hath made crooked?
Listen, this is the way the Most High made the oppressor.
Right.
This is the way this oppressor was made. There's nothing we can do to make this oppressor straight. There is nothing that we can do to make this oppressor love us. Hate is in his heart. This is the way he was created. It says, consider the work of God, for who can make that straight which he hath made crooked? God made him this way. Why are we trying to make him in any other fashion?
Right.
Why are we trying to change him? So we destroyed as a people. You understand what I'm saying? We totally destroyed as a people. Thanks to Martin Luther King and his big six.
Right.
And those four oppressors over top of them. You understand? And we talked about this a few weeks ago. What's the difference? What's better, integration, segregation, or separation? What's better?
Separation.
Separation. Why is separation better?
Because history shows, because history has shown for the black community that when we left alone into our own, you know what I'm saying, we prosper. You know what I'm saying? We can fix ourselves when we buy ourselves. You know what I mean? How you going to ask for help from somebody that hates you?
Right. Right. What's integration?
Integration is us, is one people integrating to another.
Becoming that people, right?
Right, becoming that people.
What's segregation?
Segregation is having a people eliminating you from their reality. You know what I'm saying? Keeping you out of their livelihood. You know what I'm saying?
Or segregation is somebody placing you somewhere in a condition that they want you in. That's segregation. Now think about all of the things of segregation. When they segregated the water fountains, they had the good water fountain. We had the dirty, filthy water fountain.
Right.
When they had the restaurant, they came in the front door. You came in the back door. That's segregation. You understand? They had the dirty bathrooms for the coloreds. They had the clean bathrooms for the whites. That's segregation.
Right.
Separation is you having your own school. You having your own restaurants. You having your own bathrooms. Us having our own, living where we want to live at. Taking care of our own neighborhoods. That's segregation. That's separation.
Right.
Not segregation. You understand? Controlling our own economy. Just like in Wall Street, Black Wall Street. Just like in Seneca Village. Just like in, Rosewood. You understand? Just like down North Carolina. What was Tulsa? Well, no, that was.
Oh, Tulsa, yes, Black Wall Street.
Black Wall Street. You understand? But just like in those black cities and towns that were all around America before they were destroyed by the oppressor.
Right.
You understand? That's the difference. You understand? And thanks to Martin Luther King, all of those things were taken from us.
Right.
Not the cities and towns, but this is the thing that segregation and integration do? You understand?
Come.
When you are segregated, you are still under the thumb of the oppressor. When you separate yourself, you choose to move here and deal with your own. And that's what we are supposed to do. You understand? The Bible tells us not to integrate or intermingle with them.
Right.
You understand? Doesn't say you can't do business with them. It says not to integrate or, you understand, intermarry or intermingle with them.
Right.
You understand? Because these are the results.
Right.
Look what's happening to us today. You understand?
Come.
Where we at?
We was in Ecclesiastes 7:13.
You can drop that.
And we also got Isaiah 56:11.
That's what I want to go back to.
Come.
Go ahead.
It's the book of Isaiah chapter 56 and verse 11. Yea, they are greedy dogs, which can never have enough.
And listen, who does that perfectly describe?
Christian leaders.
Christian leaders. Who? Creflo Dollar, TD Snakes. You understand? What's his name? Jamal Bryant.
Joel Osteen.
Joel. Well,
he's an oppressor.
Yeah, that's an oppressor. What's his name? Tony Evans. All of these brothers, you understand, are greedy dogs, which can never have enough.
Right.
And think about it. All of these things that are going around, happening around this country, you got all of these supposed to be leaders bringing in all of this money and refuse to help their people.
Right.
These are the greedy dogs which can never have enough. You understand? This is what the Bible is talking about, the greedy dogs that can never have enough. Go ahead, read on.
Come. And they are all shepherds that cannot understand.
They cannot understand what?
It's like,
Go ahead.
They cannot understand the current racial climate and conditions that our people are living in or being oppressed by.
That's true, right? But they cannot understand what the Most High wants them to do. They are not in the truth.
Right.
You understand? They don't understand what the Most High wants. They only understand their own greed and lust. That's it. They don't understand anything else, just their own greed and lust.
Right. And
this is all a lustful person can, think of.
Right.
Read on.
Come. They all look to their own way.
Listen, they all want that $65 million plane.
Right.
That jet. To serve themselves. They all look to their own way. They all want that Rolex watch. You understand? Right. They all want to be worshiped in church on their birthday. They all want that pastor, what they call it, pastor appreciation day. You understand what I'm saying? They all look to their own way. Go ahead.
Come. Everyone for his gain.
Go ahead.
From his quarter.
Everybody looking for their own gain. Everybody looking to what they can get. You understand?
Right.
How their pockets can be filled. You understand? That's all they can understand. All of them are nothing but motivational speakers.
That's right.
You understand? But if you're looking for the truth, you're already motivated. So what do you need them for? The only thing you need is this truth right here.
Right.
You motivated to find this truth right here. And the only place you can find it is in the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge under Commanding General Yohanan. You understand? Go ahead.
And sir, Salaki, it don't cost you no money.
Don't cost you no money. You understand? Don't cost a thing. This is free.
Right.
You ain't got to pay nothing to us to get the truth.
Right.
You don't have to pay anything to get yourself built up and to really get the truth and understanding of how to build a nation. That's what Commander General Yohanan is doing today.
Right.
He's building a nation. You understand? With that, with the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, it started out of 1 West, 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under Commanding General Yohanan. We've been bringing this truth since 1969. And what is that truth? That truth is that the so-called blacks, Hispanics, and natives are the greatest people to ever to walk the face of this earth. And the Bible identifies us as the true biblical Jews of the Bible. With that, we'll pass the class over to the priest officer Nadar.
Right. All right, security announcements. We're the Israelite School. It's like we are the ISUBK out of 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General Yohana. New rules for brothers and sisters. When a new brother or sister comes into the school, they are off limits for 6 months. They are to be saluted only. They are here to shed themselves to the world. After 6 months, if a brother or a sister has an interest in a particular person, he or she must get permission from the head to speak to a brother or a sister. There is another 6 months in which the brother or sister will court each other. After this 6-month period, the brother or sister will get permission from the head to marry. Ties, which is a commandment. You can find this in Numbers 18 and 21 and Malachi 3, 8 through 10. Means 10th in Hebrew and is pronounced Ma'asharah. 10% of every penny of any increase the Lord gives you, you give to the treasury department or teacher. Priest fund, free will offering for priests, not mandatory. Whatsoever amount you would like to give. Upcoming holy convocations, memorial blowing the trumpets is the 15th. That's this Friday at 7 sundown. Salakia at sundown, Friday this week. All right. Remind Akim and Akwathian to check on social media such as isupk.com, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and so forth. And so on for ISUPK events and materials. If a brother wants to be a trooper in the school, then he is to start wearing all black, which includes black boots, shirt, pants, headband, or scarves. And with that, in Israel, mighty. Give one courteous salute to the teacher, Maim Shabbat, mighty, Barak, Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushua B'Rakatha. Yazmatah. Well, give one courteous salute to the teachers, in Israel. Saw, space sisters. In Israel, mighty Shabbat, mighty, Barak, Yahweh Shema Alatham Ba'Shem Yahushua. Yazmatah, class dismissed.